Hey, my name is John, and these are my top 3 moments for Defiance Season 3, Episode 9. My first moment is the fact that we get 2 Dockyuls in this episode. Well, sort of, at least for a short time anyway. In the beginning, we see what appears to be Dockyul running for her life from some sort of beast or monster, which turns out to be Kinsey, after all, which we saw in the last episode. They teased this whole thing about some sort of beast being loose in Defiance. And so we see Dockyul, which we aren't quite sure if it's Dockyul just yet, but actually is Dockyul, sort of, in a way, being chased by who turns out to be Kinsey, which is the beast that's loose in Defiance. My second favorite moment of this episode is the Nolan and Arissa reversal. This entire season, we've sort of seen Arissa struggle with who she is and what she's done as a result of having this Urzu thing inside of her, making her do all these terrible things. Well, now we have that role reversal where Nolan is guilt-ridden over basically leading the entire militia to their death in that cave from CCBB, Lieutenant CCBB, who threw a bomb into the cave, killing pretty much the entire militia. And Nolan is absolutely guilt-ridden over this. We end up seeing him go down a very dark hole. He's drinking, he's getting drunk, he's trying to come to terms with the fact that he's basically responsible for the death of these kids, and he's having a really hard time with that. And it's a complete role reversal of what we saw, where in the beginning Arissa was the one that needed, some help and some consoling, and then in this instance it's Arissa consoling Nolan. And my third favorite moment of the episode is the Tevkin-Kinsey confrontation. This happens right after Dockyul is in the mines trying to find proof of what's actually going on down there and whether Kinsey is responsible for it or not. And Tevkin ends up surprising both of them and learning that Kinsey is actually, doing these things behind Tevkin's back. Even though Tevkin has said, don't do anything that's going to jeopardize our plans. Whereas specifically, he told her not to do anything with the tissue from Dockyul that she stole. Yet she ended up using it to make clones of Dockyul and hunting them down and killing them and eating them. And my honorable mention for the week goes to Amanda buying the ink for Stama. Stama is finally pardoned, and she's out in the market looking for some ink to do this ritual to mourn for the loss of Datek. And nobody wants to sell anything to her because of her past and everything that she did to Defiance, basically being the VC spy, and rightfully so, nobody wants anything to do with her. Amanda comes along and has the shop owner pretend that he is selling the ink to her instead. And even though Amanda buys the ink for Stama, she's still not being very nice to her. So this isn't necessarily my favorite episode of the season. We've had a lot of really great episodes. This wasn't, like I said, necessarily my favorite episode, because there's some certain things in the season that are troubling to me. Samir popped up again, and I'm still not understanding his role in Defiance and why he's still there. He was actually absent for like 2 or 3 episodes, and now Samir has popped up yet again, only to be possibly murdered by Dockyul. And another thing that just kind of seems to have dropped off radar is what's going on between Nolan and Arissa with that architect that was in their head, where they were in the ark and they had the stuff growing in their head to compensate to keep them both alive in one of the pods. And why is it that we haven't heard anything further on that? If they're supposed to be together, that's fine, but aren't they going to at some point have to deal with this? And it's been a number of episodes since we've heard anything about this. Hey, if you like my videos, be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube, and also follow me on Twitter @Suncast. That's SUNKAST. Thanks for watching.